Alright, all. So today, just as a little quick standard stream like what I usually do, where I just go over some of the retro gaming stuff that I find out in the wild to clean up and flip over. This week, I managed to find this that's in an amazing condition. Now, it's really hard. Let's get rid of that. It's really hard to fit all this in kind of TikTok's aspect ratio. But if you're into retro gaming, you'll kind of know what this is. Let me see if I can position it a bit better. So, this is going to be really difficult. But if I swipe that along, it is a Nintendo 64 Gold Edition. Well, Controller Gold Edition. So this is kind of what came out, as far as I'm aware, back in the day with GoldenEye, one of the better games on the Nintendo 64, as I'm sure many of you are aware. What we're going to be doing today, or what I'm going to be doing, hopefully you're just going to be watching and enjoying it. And if anyone wants to join in and have a chat or ask any gaming-related questions, feel free. Or if you just want a bit of banter, or if you just want to chill and just watch the stream and relax, then that's absolutely cool too. So yeah, I'll try and show this off a bit better. The box is in relatively good condition. It's nice to always get a boxed, like, kind of retro-ish console in. But what I'll be doing today is opening this up and going over all the insides and seeing what it comes with, because I've not fully checked out myself yet either. I'm going to open it up, go and check that it's got all it's in it, and then we're going to give it a clean if it needs a clean. Maybe open it up if it needs a really, really big clean. But yeah, I'll show you the front of the box as best as I can. So that's kind of your front. It does have a little bit of damage and whatnot. A few little scrapes and scrapes, but for something this old, that is absolutely fine in my opinion. It shows it's been played with. Now the back of the box, if anyone's interested, has some of the games, kind of like, I'm sure a lot of you have seen a Nintendo 64 box before. Like I said, this is the one that comes with GoldenEye on it. It should be in the box somewhere, even though it's not advertised on the outside of the box, which is a bit weird. But yeah, we're going to open this up, see if it needs a clean, and check that everything's in there. Get it all cleaned up, ready to be tested, and then it'll be put on my eBay store, ready to be sold on. So if you give me just a moment, I'm just going to open this up without damaging it as best possible. And what we should hope to find inside is some lovely styrofoam with an N64 in it. There we go, trying to be as careful with the box as possible. As you can see, absolutely fantastic. Like I said, I haven't properly looked over the inside of the box. But it looks like everything's in its proper plastic and everything, which is absolutely fantastic. What have we got here? So, we've got the actual GoldenEye game for the N64. I'll be giving this a little bit of a clean, because it looks like there's a bit of dust and whatnot on the pins. We might actually open that up and give it a clean on the inside. We've got the power bank. Again, these don't need much of a clean, these things. Obviously, I don't open up the power banks or anything because there's not much need to, but I do give them a bit of a wipe on the outside. But let's get to the more exciting bits and pieces. Oh, this is going to be a pain to get back into the box. It's one of them things, isn't it, when you open up a retro console or a modern day console, where you can't just get the stuff back into the box easily again. The Wii used to be the worst for that. The Wii was absolutely atrocious. But yeah, so I'm going to just pop this down, and what we're going to do is I'm going to leave out the controller, the instructions, and the N64 itself. And what else have we got in here? Anything interesting? We've got is it the RF cable? One of these things that is absolute pain to kind of find and to use on any kind of modern day TV. I'll try and get an AV adapter for this later on to kind of sell on. Hector, you can find some of the stuff I've got listed on my eBay channel at the moment. I've got a lot of Game Boys at the moment. Basically, I'm running a series on my YouTube channel, which you can just YouTube and search me as Blown Cartridge. I'm actually doing a series where I go over 25 Game Boys that I got in a lot to fix up. And I'm going through them one by one and costing it up and telling everyone exactly as transparent as possible how much I've paid for it, and how much it costs to do them, and tell people how to fix stuff up themselves if they want to. So yeah, but check out my my eBay, and if there's a listing on there, I can't remember. I don't think I have an Xbox charger in at the moment, like a controller charger, but it's worth having a look on there, man. Yeah, so let's go at the most disinteresting stuff first. So let's have a look at the manuals, which look to be in a really, oh wow, I absolutely love it when old consoles come with like old marketing. Let's put them to one side for now and look at the more boring ones. So what we've got here, is this just terms of service kind of stuff? Yeah, it's in a language I don't understand, I'm afraid. A lot of it, there'll be English in there somewhere. Customer information and precautions, there we go. Let's see if I can find the English. Oh god, it's massive. It's absolutely massive. Okay, can I find the English? Anything interesting for a laugh? N64 spelled Xeta. No, that's not English. Is it this side? No. What have we got? Is it this side? Here we go. Anything really, really interesting on this? Epilepsy warning? No, that's very fair and sensible. Repetitive strain warning. People may experience fatigue or discomfort after playing for a long time. Yep, not us back in the dirt. Motion sickness. Yeah, you might get motion sickness. Always turn the power off the control deck. Oh yes, because that's what Nintendo called the Nintendo 64. It was the control deck. Before you insert any game pack. It's nothing interesting in that. Let's put that to one side. Either way, it looks like it's in a really, really nice condition. Not much damage to it, and no marks, no coffee stains or anything like that. This looks like another version of that, just smaller. Interesting. Fair enough. What's this? Making connections using the RF modulator. Yeah, so this is the pain in the arse way to get it to connect to a monitor. I'm not going to test the console live on this stream. What I will be doing is I'll be getting an AV connector for the console so I can test it later. Nice little bit of information. You can actually use the same AV connector for the SNES, the N64, the GameCube, and I can't remember if you can do it on the Wii as well. But at least them three as well. So if you ever need an AV, you can just buy one and use it all on all the others. Yeah, just nothing exciting in here. How to connect it to monitor, connecting the power supply. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I love this. So basically, I didn't have a Nintendo 64 as a kid. I was mainly, I had a Game Boy and everything, and I absolutely loved it to pieces. But never had a Nintendo 64, and I absolutely love that this tells you how you should hold the control of a Nintendo 64 controller, because it's that confusing for some people. Absolutely fantastic. What else have we got in here? Yeah, how to plug it in, how to remove a game pack. Yeah, because you have to press the little button if I remember rightly. Nothing more interesting than that, I don't think. That's, I'm guessing, old Nintendo support address. I don't know if they still have that address. Anyways, that's more the boring stuff. Let's put that to one side as well. But at least it's in good condition, all this. Right, so this should be the cool stuff. What's this? Oh wow, a Nintendo registration card. Your chance to win the latest piece of software. So is this like an old kind of, you sign up and you register your console with Nintendo kind of thing? Yes, where did you buy it? Wow, here you go. So if you're from the UK, check mark how many of these stores actually don't exist anymore. So what have we got? So Index doesn't exist anymore, because that used to be basically a version of Argos. I don't know what, is that BT's? I haven't got a clue what that is right there. Comet's obviously still a thing. Dixon's and Curry's is. Duty Free, yeah. Game is barely just a thing. HMV is still a thing. Oh man, there you go. RIP. Toys R Us. One of the best places ever as a kid. Anything else interesting in this? What the heck is that? Something's just caught out the side of my eye. So, so this is what I'd consider like a registration card. So you'd send this into Nintendo and say, I've registered my console with you, and they have your details, yada, 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 yada. And it makes sense that you can have things like, where did you purchase this? Tick any of the other products you own, fine, that's really cool. One other thing I didn't expect is... Oh, where's it gone? I've lost it. How cool is this? Why is this in it? Are you planning to move home in the next 12 months? Are you considering any following home improvements? What the hell is Nintendo up to that they needed to know that information? Fair enough, maybe about occupation and stuff like that. Family income and stuff, maybe, for marketing, maybe Nintendo would need to know that. But Nintendo definitely at the time, and still not now, need to know, are you planning to move home in the next 12 months? And are you planning to make a fitted kitchen or a loft conversion? That's so strange. And there's some stuff there about if anyone wears any accessibility related things for like hearing aids, spectacles. Fine, that again makes sense. It's that it's that entire one that doesn't kind of make contents insurance to see if you've got contents insurance. What the heck? Just so weird. Is there any other weird ones like this? There's the standard stuff you even get today. So like, how often do you play games and what time of the day do you play games? When do you plan to replace your car? God, this is like taking out a frigging loan with Nintendo. Do you foresee the need for a personal loan? Well, with the way money's going nowadays, Nintendo, I'm sure if I send you this and tell you, you'll know. Oh, do you know what? If I wasn't going to sell this on, I'd probably send this in or something. Oh, that's fantastic. So many weird questions that Nintendo absolutely don't need to know that information. Is there any on the back? Are you connected to the internet? Yeah, of course. Do you or your partner have or consider private medical insurance? Man, that's weird. Absolutely weird. Right, what's this? Is this promo stuff? What is that? Service Force Fast Track, and probably a number that doesn't exist anymore. Service Center for all your Nintendo products. All right, so what is this? Like a third-party service company. Simply call Service Force on blah number, and we will send you a postage box paid for you. Faulty Nintendo products. Yeah, it's just a way for you to fix your Nintendo products. Have I bought a £20 kettle? Man, please, like, I'm always up for talking politics, but like on a gaming stream for my business, like, no, I just plan on buying retro game consoles that are hopefully less power to run, so Game Boys that I can just put batteries in. So this is my plan. So like I've just said earlier, I actually run a YouTube channel where I bought 25 Game Boys and I'm going through them all as a series. I actually just made my ultimate Game Boy that I would love as a kid, and if anyone's interested in seeing it, let me know in the comments now and I'll jump over because it's just over there and I'll show it off. But basically it's got a screen light in it, so I'm just going to put batteries in that and just run that off that, so I've got lights at least. But yeah, Boris Johnson, let's not get into that in this stream. Nintendo 64, yeah, so this is like, what, a little poster, a little bit of advertising poster. With some of the definitely better Nintendo 64 games, and in fact Nintendo Game Boy games on there. A lot of the first party stuff, which is cool. Again, just nice little promotional material and nothing on the back. Okay, so that's all kind of the boring marketing jargon. Apart from this, I still can't get over that, asking you if you pay house improvements or anything like that. That's so strange. But hey, who knows what Nintendo was up to back in the day, or still is. Always be wary of Nintendo. Let's stick this back away and get it nice and back in its box off camera. Come on, there we go. Right, the more interesting stuff. So 3 bits to go over. Like I said earlier, this version, the Nintendo Gold Edition of the console, came with GoldenEye 007, which is obviously one of the better games on Nintendo 64. I mean, even I didn't have Nintendo 64 as a kid, and I know this is definitely one of the better games on the console. What I'll probably do after I've gone over these 3 is I might just open this up and just give it a quick clean with some isopropyl alcohol and good days. What else we got? So again, it's cool that everything's all in the plastic. Let's see what we've got in here and how good of a condition it's in. Reset button feels good. Power feels clicky. It does look like it needs a bit of a clean, which is what I'll be doing, is the main point of this channel. But I also kind of like to show this stuff off because it's very rare you find a boxed Nintendo 64 nowadays. There we go. It's got, is it the expansion pack in it? That's absolutely grand. That's what I want. Cool. What we're looking like in there was a good bit of dust in there. I don't know if you can see too well on camera. I don't particularly want to fully open this up, but it looks like I might have to. Anything in the expansion port? No, of course not. That's silly, because that'll be for the Nintendo DD, 64DD, whatever it was. Yeah, that's going to need a bit of a scrub down, which I'll do on this video. That's cool. Now, one of the coolest parts of this console, especially this edition, let's put that to one side. Let's put this Nintendo 64 away for now over here. Ugh. Yeah, so how cool is this? So, because of it was being basically the GoldenEye console, you get a gold controller with it as well. The stick feels a bit it again needs a bit of a clean. I can see dirt in the shoulders. Yep. And then we've got one of the, is it like the memory cards? Oh, that's stiff. There we go. Yep, Joytech Europe controller memory pack. Yep, that's the one. I'll leave that out actually, because I'll probably that out. Yeah, that's dusty. That's dusty. Okay, so I might even open this up as well, just so we can see the insides, and give it a bit of a clean as well. Okay, so let's start off with the game. Now, if I remember rightly, cover your ears if you don't like loud noises. There we go. So, where has my screwdriver gone? Here we go. If I remember rightly, old Nintendo consoles have the older game bit connectors. So is this one too big? Yeah, that one is. Is this one about the right size? Is that the one? I think I've got it. Yeah. No? Still too big? Okay. Let's try again. Third time lucky. See, that looks too big. Too small even. Is that getting it? I don't think that's catching it. Nope. Okay. Let's try. Maybe I was getting the wrong connector. There we go. This is the one. Fourth time lucky. There we go. So, there we go. It's coming out now. And put you over there so you're safe, because I don't want to lose any screws. And then this should just come off. There we go. And this is what your inside of a Nintendo 64 cartridge looks like. I don't think I'm going to take the back plate off. I think I'm just going to give it a scrub with some alcohol and just being a bit careful of the sticker, because, I mean, it's not too dirty, but I like to clean up as much stuff as possible that I get in ready to sell on. So I'm going to take some alcohol over here, and one of the best tools you can have for cleaning retro game stuff, a toothbrush. An old toothbrush, obviously. Don't use the one you're currently using. And there we go. Stick that to one side. Get a cloth just to wipe off any excess alcohol. There we go. Clean this bit here. Right, and then very carefully, we're just going to just slightly scrub away at it. Try and get rid of any residual marks or anything like that. And being very careful of the sticker. But yeah, as I said earlier, I didn't have a Nintendo 64 myself as a kid. I've not even really played many titles as an adult. Was basically a PlayStation kid around the time that this came out. And now what I'm going to do is take an earbud that I've got just off screen here, just to make sure that I can get the more delicate bits. Not that it's actually too dirty, but I might as well clean it. And then just get down the sides and in the grooves there. There we go. And then this bit here as well. There we are. And then getting this groove as well. Cool. Now I'm going to use this earbud again, just to get into the kind of grooves and the gaps. Yeah, you can already see starting a lot of the kind of discoloration from the dirt that's coming off this little cartridge when it didn't look too clean, too dirty. Let's get that down. Is that dirt or is that just marks? I think that's just marks. Let's just give this another slight down because I can still see some dirt. KP, I do clean and sell, so I set up a small business just over a year ago. I have a whole long story about it that I'll tell people at some point at some day, because it's a weird story how I got into it. I don't do it full time. This is kind of like a side hobby, but I do sell stuff on. Yeah, I do clean to sell. I mainly repair, clean, and test, and then sell. I only really sell in the UK at the moment. I do a few kind of things abroad and send things away. I mainly sell on eBay. So if you go on the eBay UK website and just look up Blown Cartridge, I've got a lot of stuff on there at the moment. A lot of Game Boys I've got in at the moment. A lot of other games in general. I've got quite low stock at the moment because the retro gaming market's going a bit weird at the moment. And you've got to play it as best you can. But yeah, good question, man. I basically do just clean everything up and sell them. Properly clean them as well, not just clean them on the outside or anything. So I'm just going to clean the connectors here. So again, like I said, I don't use like kind of water or anything. This is isopropyl alcohol, so it doesn't affect any of the electronics or anything like that. So I'm able just to clean the connectors up. And the same on the other side. It's kind of hard to see, but just take my word for it. There we go. Right, and then the back. There we go. So yeah, you can see that doesn't actually look that dirty to the eye, but you can see how much kind of dirt is coming off this. Especially there'll be a lot of dirt in this bit that I'll get with the toothbrush in a sec. I'll just get the more delicate bits so I don't wet any of the labels, because I don't want the labels to come off. I still want it to be, it's in quite a good condition, this console kind of edition, so I don't want to damage it at all. I want to make it better if I can. This actually label looks a little dirty. I might just take a wet wipe to it. There we go. Right, now I'll switch to the toothbrush and just delicately try and get in that Nintendo logo without trying to get any on the label whatsoever. I can actually move that so it doesn't drip down. And just give that a good scrub. There we go, looking better already. But yeah, it's amazing some of the retro tech stuff, how dirty you can get, especially when you open stuff up. I've just cleaned a PS2 controller, a silver PS2 controller. I'll be sticking it on TikTok later as like one of my little highlight videos. But yeah, you can get some really dirty tech, even though it doesn't look it. Once you open it up and unscrew it, you can find some really nasty stuff. So I'm just going to get into the grooves here. Again, it doesn't look too dirty, but we might as well, while we've got this open, give it a clean. Okay, and now just to kind of try and clean up that label a bit, I'm just going to use quite a dryish wet wipe, if that makes sense. Just get to all these grooves and try and get off any of the excess kind of residual dirty liquid from me cleaning it. I'm also just going to push some of this out here, just so it doesn't stick in and pool and get all sticky. There we go. How's that Nintendo looking? I think there's not much dirt in there now anymore, so that's grand for me. There's some dirt on that label, but there's not much I can do about it. If I start cleaning it, there's a possibility it'll start getting loose with how old it is. And it's not as if GoldenEye is a massively rare game, as good as it is. There we go. Right, I'm going to do the same with the front. Just kind of get off any of the excess dirt that was on it after I cleaned it. Oops. And knock my camera while I do it. And contacts are looking good. I don't see much dirt on them or any kind of damage. Just pieces of dirt. Let's see if I can get them off or if it's just stuck on. I mean, you have to think now, Nintendo 64 stuff is ancient. It's so old. Which makes me feel old because I was around to play it. So, there we go. Is that a bit better? Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to give this a little bit of a wipe and just blow out any kind of dust or dirt that might be in it while we've got it open. Don't know how much this will help, but it makes me feel better that I'm blowing out any possible dirt from in there. There we go. Right, let's get this fastened back up. So again, you just plonk this on top. Make sure it clips into place. There we go. And then again, like I mentioned before, Nintendo uses the older kind of game bit. Let's get that off there. Get a bit of a cleaner workstation. Yep, so Nintendo around this range of time use the old game bits screws, so we can just pop them back in there. That's one. That's two. There we go. So it's not perfect, but it's a heck of a lot cleaner than what it was. I won't be testing it in this video. I test all of my stuff off video just because it's a pain kind of to show a setup while testing everything. And there we go, a lot cleaner. Now, the question is next if I do the console or do the controller. Now, I may not need to open up the console. I might be able to get to everything I need to without opening it up. But the controller, I think, will definitely need opening up. So I'll leave the controller to last. Let's just have a look in here again and see if we've got any dirt. Yeah, there's quite a lot of dirt in there. I don't know if you can see too well on the camera, but there is quite a bit of dirt in there. So I think I'm going to have to open it up. And I've not opened up a Nintendo 64 for a very long time. So let's flip this over and see what we're dealing with. So it looks like the same as the same as the game pack. We've got what looks to be 6 game bit screws. So let me just make a bit more room. But yeah, thank you for everyone who's watching. Like I said, I just kind of do these streams as I like to chill out by speaking to a few people while I fix stuff. A few people like to just chill out with me. If you've got any kind of gaming questions or anything you'd like to ask about the business or any of the products I sell, anything like that, feel free to just put it in the comments and I'll try and answer them. Or if you just want to watch and chill, just watch and chill. That's all good as well. Right, let's see if we can get these screws out. Now these will be in absolutely tight. There we are. Okay, so that's for the bottom right foot. Does this just then pop out? Yes, it does. Let's get this one over here. Oh, that's in tough. There we go. Come on. Come on, you're going to be nice and clean after this. I promise you. There we go, that's starting to come out. Now, what are the other two? So there's one... I'm just going to pop that back on there for now. There's one here. going to be a pain, aren't you, and not come out fully. Yeah, you are. Where's my little tweezers? There they are. Come on. Again, because these consoles are so old. There we go, it's come out now. Oh, it's gone back in. Come on, man. There's always one screw that's an absolute pain in the arse. There we go. And I think there's one up here. Oh, yeah. It's caught on something at least. There we go. And then let me just make some more room. There we go. But yeah, it was really cool to find like a boxed gold Nintendo 64 edition. It's quite nice to get a Nintendo 64 boxed. Nowadays, they're getting a lot rarer. You do find some really rare stuff when you kind of hunt for it, like what I do. I've got some stuff actually hidden behind me for someday I'll do a YouTube video on them. One thing that's really rare, there's only like 12,000 odd of them in the world, which I got really lucky on finding. That's kind of like my white whale in terms of collecting game stuff and selling it on. Right, okay, so in theory then, I'm going to take the extension flap out. Is that everything? I think it is. Let me turn this over. Take the feet off for now, put them over there. Now I'm going to hope this just starts lifting up. It does. That's what I want. I'm going to take this out as well. Hope that this just comes up. Is it this keeping it in place? Oh god, my fat fingers can't get in the thing. Oh, come on. But yeah, I've never actually, in a very long time, taken apart an N64. Because they're quite kind of hard to get hold of now in terms of the pricing on them. Everyone knows what they're worth. That is not coming out. Come on. There we go. Right, there we are. Fantastic. So let's see how bad this is. Let me put the outer shell off screen a minute. It's amazing actually when you look into like an N64, just how little there is in it, considering how hard it is to emulate most of the time. Let's just make some free space for it. But yeah, obviously there's not much in it as well because the power pack is a big wedge boy. That's just external as opposed to this. So I can see a lot of dust in this. Hopefully you can pick that up on the camera a bit. I'm not going to go right in there and take everything apart. I mean, you can see how dusty it is here. I should be able to pick up a lot of this and make it look a damn sight better. I'm going to swivel it that way just so you guys can see it better. And I'm going to take a quick drink. There we go. Right. So first things first, I'm going to get rid of all the kind of residual fluff, just so it doesn't get everywhere. Again, I'm just going to use that wet wipe from before and just carefully try and pick up as much of it as I can, because what I don't want to do is blow it with my little, this thing, because it'll go absolutely everywhere. Just get rid of as much as this kind of lingering dust as I can. But yeah, so what kind of games is everyone playing at the moment? Is there anything you kind of addicted to playing game-wise at the moment? If anyone has any kind of anything they're playing that they'd like to share with the class, as it were. At the moment, I'm currently playing Monster Hunter on the Nintendo Switch. I spoke about it before in a stream. Nintendo Switch for me although I've always been a PlayStation person. Nothing against Xbox or Nintendo. I'm not one of them kinds of people. I've always preferred PlayStation. Switch has actually won it for me this generation, just purely because, well, as a kind of over 30-year-old adult who is obviously old compared to the main thing of TikTok, I very rarely get to sit down and play for long hours. So it's just nice to just be able to have the Switch and just go, and then, you know, you'd be absolutely fantastic and just able to play whatever you want for 5-10 minutes or an hour, however long you've got. I also very recently, a few months back, managed to get hold of an analog pocket, which if you're into playing Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance, look up what an analog Ponic console is. Analog pocket, sorry. Absolutely fantastic console. It's absolutely brilliant to be able to play Game Boy games on actual cart on one of them. Let's just get rid of some of this dust. Looks like someone who had this before I received it had a cat, which you'll be surprised how many times that happens. I can see that some of the vents there have dust in it. Okay, let's clear off some of this here. And let's have a look. Right, now I think to get the rest of it, it's going to be blowing it with some air, and then giving it a good scrub down with some isopropyl alcohol, like what we did to the game pack. Right, okay, so this could be bad, or at least it'll be bad for me, you guys, just get to watch, but that's not too bad actually. I expect it worse. Should not be doing this when I've actually got asthma. There we go. All right. Trying to get as much out of this as I can before I start scrubbing it down with some alcohol. It's amazing how much dust can get into a retro console, it really is. Alright, let me just position that and try and get it down. Bad idea. There we go, I seem to have gotten most of the dust. It's still going to need a bit of a scrub. But we're starting to look a lot better. I'm just going to turn it upside down and kind of blow in from the vents. From the underside, just hoping that this gets some of the dust from the other side. There we go. Right, I think we're about right to start properly cleaning it. Now that the most of the dust, I won't have gotten all the dust. But I've gotten most of the dust, which is what matters. There we go. Right, okay, so what's best to start? So I'm going to take the toothbrush, and again, just some alcohol, some isopropyl alcohol, which is absolutely safe for electronics. And I'm just going to scrub some of the bits where I can see a lot of dirt build up, which there's obviously going to be a lot around here where the cartridge goes in and out because it's the main opening for the console. All them years of grubby fingers and whatnot. Pulling and putting in cartridges. Right, that's looking a bit better. Like I say, I think the biggest thing was this was actually the dust. And we've gotten most of the dust out of there now anyway. I'm going to focus now. So like the kind of three main bits that I've always found with retro consoles or consoles in general is your cartridge or your disc slot is always a big one. Your switches, so like you've got your power and your reset switch, always get dirty from grimy fingers. And the controller ports are always pretty grimy as well. So let's just get some more alcohol because that can just go down into that kind of switch there and work its magic. I'm just going to flick it on and off a few times just to make sure that all goes in there. and then actually start on the reset switch. There we go. And again, I'm just going to press it down a few times, just to kind of let that alcohol do its thing. Right, okay, so now pretty much we can just focus on cleaning the shell. So I'm just going to honestly just get straight in there. Again, this alcohol won't affect any of the electronics, so it's absolutely safe. Luckily, the console was in quite a good condition, but again, because it's been used in the past, which absolutely rightly so, it does still have some dirt and some dust that builds up, especially when it's got like air vents in it, like what the N64 and such has. There we go, looking a bit better. But yeah, if anyone's interested in this kind of video here, feel free to go check out my YouTube channel, where I do this kind of stuff on and off every now and then when I get the chance. You'll also find a lot of videos like this on my actual TikTok account, so feel free to check that out. There we go. Alright, start doing this edge here, getting rid of all of the dirt. Again, it's a bit hard to see on camera, but I assure you there's a lot of dirt, or at least dust is more appropriate, on them side bits. Right, now I can see on these two sides, on here and here, down in this bit, there's a lot of dirt and grime, so I'm going to get some more alcohol on my toothbrush. And actually, yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrub the vents, just to kind of get as much of it as possible on the outside. Yeah, like that. I'm going to flip it back over and just scrub in there to get rid of any of the dirt there. And then we're going to flick it back round and then switch over to, if I've got one, yes I do, just to kind of a ear cleaning thing. Earbud, that's what they're called. And I'm just gonna pop this right in there and try and get into all kind of the crevices here and get rid of all that dust and grime and dirt and dust. There we go. There we are. You can already see already, if the camera will focus on it, just how much dirt. Yes, thanks camera. Just how much dirt's on coming off the console just with a bit of rubbing and a bit of alcohol. There we go. Just trying to get rid of as much grime as possible, and just on the insides here as well, where I scrubbed through from the outer side with the toothbrush. I'm going to do the same again on the other side. So again, you can see kind of all of the dirt, and grime. But yeah, if any of you are interested in this kind of video, I stream every now and then on TikTok like this, just nice and chill. So if anyone wants to chat, or they've got any questions about the business or any of the products, or you just want to talk about gaming or anything like that, just leave a comment, and I'll reply back to you when I see it, to be honest with you. I also have a YouTube there. I do longer videos. I'm currently, like I said earlier, I'm doing a series at the moment where I bought a box of 25 Game Boys that was spares and repairs, and in each video I'm telling you how much it cost me to kind of repair them and what I did to them, all in like kind of a nice-ish detail in case you ever wanted to fix your own. So check that out if you're interested. But back to the N64, I'm just kind of trying to get rid of some of the dirt down the sides here. A lot of the dust we've already kind of blown out of it. but just trying to get rid of some of the grime before we move on to the upper shell, and I kind of get rid of all the grime from that. But it's actually in a really good condition. I should hopefully be listing this on eBay in the next week, because it's nice to have a limited edition Nintendo 64, and a lot of people like Nintendo 64 as a nostalgic console. And I've never actually seen this edition before, so it's kind of cool for me to have it in stock. Right, we're looking really good. I think now I can get the shell back on. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to very carefully get the toothbrush again, some isopropyl alcohol again, which again is absolutely safe for electronics. And we're just going to, it looks pretty clean, but we're just going to give it a scrub anyway, because I like to make sure the stuff that I sell on is absolutely clean as it can be and works as best as it can as well. There we go. So we're just very lightly going to scrub. Taking into consideration that we're not going to go too near the labels, because I kind of like the labels being intact as much as possible. Just going to get right in some of these grooves here. But yeah, what kind of games people playing at the moment? Anyone playing anything interesting? I said earlier that I'm currently playing Monster Hunter at the moment. There's some break stuff trying to get to Master Rank 100. Kind of looking forward to Splatoon coming out later on in the month. Splatoon 3, that is, which looks really, really good. Just trying to get the toothbrush in here. I'll explain what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get the toothbrush into kind of all the grates in here, just to get rid of any lingering dirt or dust. But like I said, the console's actually in a really nice condition. There we go. Let's get to the feet and just kind of wipe all this down. There we go. And we are looking quite good. There we are. Right, I'm going to take just a dryish wet wipe again, just to kind of get rid of any residue and off anything that's a bit resilient. And like I said, if you're interested in kind of all this retro gaming stuff, I actually sell this as like a very small business. So if you look up Blown Cartridge on eBay, you can see some of the stuff I've got in stock at the moment. Like I said, I've got a lot of Game Boys in stock. If anyone's interested, I've just done a video where I've made my ultimate Game Boy from what I would have loved as a Game Boy Color as a kid. It's actually off screen just over there, so if anyone wants to see it and kind of see what like why it costs so much and like why it's so amazing, just put it in the comments and I'll go grab it if anyone wants to have a look at it, because that was a really cool build. It was a nice little mod, and some of the stuff that would have blown my mind as a kid for a Game Boy Color to have. All right, let's have a look at this now. How are we looking? It's looking good. I'm just going to try and get into these crevices here. There we go. Right, I'm just going to very quickly clean the extension cover. Doesn't actually need a lot of alcohol on it because it's not too bad. But yeah, so I've been modding a lot of Game Boys recently. Like I said, that one that I've actually got off screen, if anyone wants to see it, like I said, just put in the comments, because it's actually got wireless charging. So yeah, it's what I did in my last YouTube video. It was a Game Boy Color that had wireless charging, so you could just put it on a dock, kind of like what you could with your mobile phone or anything else. Absolutely fantastic. It would have blown my mind as a kid. And it's also got one of the newer IPS screens on it and all that kind of lovely stuff. There we go. So this is looking a lot cleaner now. There we go. Right, last little bit of this bottom part of the shell, I'm just going to take a toothbrush again around these edges here, just to make sure that I've caught everything. And then I'll be doing the top shell, screwing it all together, and then we should be good to go. And I'll be moving on to, if anyone's wondering, this isn't just a normal, I've got the box, I showed the box at the start of the stream, but it's actually the gold Nintendo 64 version, the limited edition one. I'll be opening this up after finishing this off, if anyone's interested. Right, okay, so, again, toothbrush and some alcohol. And I'm just going to get into all the controller ports and then go around the edges. Just to make sure it's as clean as possible, ready for me to list it and then stick it on the eBay store sometime in the next week or so. There we are, looking a lot cleaner and a lot more presentable. Again, I'm just going to go over the switches, because switches are some of the most used and you really want the switches to work. There we go. Right, there we go. So that should kind of be the bottom shell. Now, again, I'm just going to use the dryish wet wipe and just kind of mop it all up where I can see any kind of residue. There we go. Okay, so get rid of any dust that I can kind of see. I'm going to give it one last little blow just to get rid of any kind of residual dust or fibres that may have come off out of the toothbrush or anything like that. There we go, there's another big bit of dust just on there. Stick it in the bin. Oh, there we go. Looking good. Right, I'm going to quickly move this and just wipe down the workstation to get rid of any dirt that might be lingering over on it. Put this to one side and then we will take a look at the top side shell and see how dirty this is. So again, you might not be able to pick it up too much on the camera, but this is absolutely, absolutely filthy. So we're going to be giving this a bit of a scrub down as well. Again, it's amazing how like dirty retro consoles can get. You'd probably see this console and be like, oh, look, it's in really good condition. It looks really kind of clean and everything. And then you open up something like this and then you see all that dirt and grime from all these years just baked in there. It looks like I can actually get that off. So I might just take that off, unscrew it, and clean it up on that side. So if I get the screwdriver and put, it looks like a standard Phillips head to give it a clean. There we go, fantastic. But yeah, so what kind of games is everyone playing at the moment? Feel free to put in the comments if you've got any kind of questions about any of the products, the business, or what I do, or if you just want to have a chat about anything in life in general. I'm always up for a chat, or if you just want to sit there and chill, feel free to kind of just sit there and chill. Right. I'm hoping this comes off quite easily. Yeah, here we go. The camera will definitely pick this up a bit better. So here you are. So you looked at like the top side of the console looked clean as anything, and then you actually look what the controller kind of bears like, and it's absolutely disgusting. So we're going to give that a bit of a clean. I'm going to wipe it down just with this dry wet wipe first, just to get rid of most of the lingering kind of dust, and then we'll get the toothbrush and some alcohol on it again. There we go. Just get right in there and get rid of most of the dirt as I can. How are we looking? Yeah, it's looking better already, but let's get it looking as best possible. And just get some alcohol in that, just to kind of loosen up any dirt. There we go. And then I'm going to take a clean wet wipe. And just to get rid of any of the residual liquid. Hey Sprunk, you alright man? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I hope people are enjoying just me tinkering around with some old retro gaming gear. I enjoy it, so I'm hoping other people will. If you kind of like this content, I also, like I said, I have a YouTube. Feel free to tune into that, where I've got all kinds of videos. Good, man. I'm glad you're doing well. Hope you enjoy the stream, and just here to chill or here to chat. Either way, I hope you enjoy. There we go. This is practically clean. Practically clean compared to what it was. I'm just going to quickly blow it with some air, just to get any of that residual kind of liquid. I quite like to have a question on these streams for people if they wanted to, if they want to interact with the stream and they don't know where to start. So I normally ask like a gaming question, because obviously, even though I run this as like a side business, I obviously love gaming and retro gaming. I think the last stream I asked what people's kind of first game they ever played was. And there were some really interesting answers from that. Let's see, what question could I ask this stream? So at the moment, I like to listen to gaming music while I work. And I'm actually listening to gaming music right now. While kind of doing this with yourselves. Do people listen to gaming music at home, kind of when they're working or when they're chilling or at the gym or anything like that? And if so, what kind of gaming soundtracks do you like? I kind of switch from anything between like JRPG to old retro stuff. Oh, there we go. We're looking a lot better. Okay, I'm just going to give this a quick little blow again to get rid of anything residual in there, and then put this to one side, bring over the top shell again, take a quick drink. That's better. Right, okay, so just going to pop this back in. I'm pretty sure this is the way it went in. Just make sure that that's fit properly. There we go, that looks about right. Yeah. Okay, let's screw this in. And then we'll start cleaning the full shell, because again, you can sometimes get sticky switches, and no one likes sticky switches. Yeah, it's amazing some of the kind of stuff you can find when you kind of do, are looking for retro gaming and flipping and repairing and stuff. I've actually got something behind me, under the bed behind me, hidden away from anyone, that I'll be planning on making a YouTube video of in the future, which is like pretty damn rare. It's not old by any means, but it's pretty damn rare. Rarest console, at least. There was only 12,000 of them made, which is absolutely fantastic that it's actually here behind me under the bed, hidden away for a rainy day. Yeah, Sprunk, no one likes sticky switches. Like, you always get sticky switches on Game Boy Colors and Game Boys. Such a pain, but you can actually find how to fix them on my YouTube channel. I do it with a lot of Game Boys because it's one of the major causes of Game Boys not working. Most people think the Game Boys aren't working or they're broke. Well, get some alcohol on the contacts and you're absolutely fine. Right, let's get rid of some of this dust. There we go. Right, okay, so let's start doing the actual cleaning of the shell. So again, toothbrush, isopropyl alcohol, and we're just going to be able to give this a good old scrub, because this one actually doesn't have any labels on this side, so we're able to just get straight in there and get straight into that Nintendo logo. And get all in the grate as well, because a lot of dust gets stuck in there. Kind of clean the edges here. I'm actually going to very quickly just switch the music I'm listening to because it's gone random. I've finished the end of the album I was listening to. Let's put some gaming music on. There we go. Alright, this top bit's nearly clean. Again, switches are feeling quite slick. Get some more alcohol on this bad boy. This is ASMR. Yeah, it's kind of one of the reasons I got into it as well. Like it sounds really grim and disgusting, but like being able to clean some... This console is actually really clean. It's been really looked after. It's in really good condition. But being able to clean like really dirty consoles is so much fun, man. If you like kind of ASMR stuff, or like I say, check my YouTube channel, check my TikTok channel where I do a few little daft videos. There's some really kind of good stuff on there. Especially if I take it really close. And there, is that good? I haven't got a clue. I'm aware of what ASMR is, but I have no idea what's good and bad. Knight Rider, can I do yours? Actually, if you live in the UK, get in touch. Either send me a private message or on YouTube, or I actually have a Discord as well, which isn't that active at the moment, but I'd love for people to join it and kind of get kind of if people want to learn how to fix their own stuff or ask how much stuff's cost. This is kind of the big thing, is like if you check my YouTube channel, most of my videos I say exactly how much stuff costs. So for example, you get a lot of YouTubers which do absolutely amazing work, but they don't actually tell you how much things cost. And it's surprising how much some things can cost. Like I say, if anyone's interested, I've just finished the latest video. My latest video on YouTube was I built the Game Boy Color I would have wanted as a kid. Like if it was like future tech, and I've actually got it over there. So if anyone wants to see it and want me to quickly segue into showing it off, please put in the comments and I'll go and grab it and kind of geek out over it if anyone's interested. But yeah, if anyone wants the kind of stuff cleaning or repairing, again, I've got an eBay store if you're looking for anything. I also kind of take requests, so if there's any kind of games you're looking for, by all means, either get in touch with me on Discord or drop me a message and I'll do and see what we can do. I basically operate in the UK at the moment, but I do eBay's global shipping programming. Sprunk, you want to see the Game Boy? Okay, 1 second please, and I shall go grab it because it's really, really cool. Oh, right, okay. So, this is it. Let me just quickly wipe the screen down because it's been sat on the shelf. So, this is a fully custom kind of build that I did for a laugh, which I spent an absolute fortune on. So, clear red buttons, red rubbers. It's actually got a 15% larger IPS, I think it's version 4 screen, which I'll show you in a sec. But the coolest thing about it is this. So I don't know if anyone's aware of like what clean juice mods are and what stuff this is. This is a wireless charging battery. So this doesn't take insertable batteries at all. What it does is you can just charge it like you could a mobile phone. So you can just put it on a wireless charger and it'll just start charging. And it's absolutely fantastic. The battery lasts for like absolute hours. It's also got like a power regulator in it, a new one, so the battery lasts even longer. But I'd kind of tried to theme it around like Pokemon Red. So I'll show you how good the screen is. 1 sec. Let me just clean the screen off very. And then, like any true gamer, just off screen here, even though I'm doing a video. Sorry about people who are joining that are wanting to see an N64. But I'm just showing off some of the product that I also set here. Pokemon Red, just off screen like any gamer has. I'm going to pop that in, and then, yeah, look at this screen. It doesn't look too good on camera, but honestly, off camera, this looks absolutely fantastic. Really, really, really cool. And then, obviously, because it's the newer IPS, what you can do that might blow some people's mind, where you can see up in the top, it's got like a battery status to see how much battery's life's in the battery in there. The light is always red, and the reason that is because I did it like Pokemon Red themed. I'll put a red LED in it, so that'll always be red. What's cool about the screen is it's kind of not touch, but you can control it with touch. So if you've never seen these before, that might absolutely blow your mind. That you can control the brightness just by touching the top of the Game Boy, which is absolutely fantastic. What you can actually do as well is, because, let me just kind of go into a game here. This is my personal copy, this isn't stock. So this is kind of what I was doing at the game at the time. So let me just quickly get into a battle and I'll show something really, really cool. Okay, an oddish cool. So, obviously, this is a Game Boy Color. The original Game Boy, the original Pokemon game, obviously isn't a Game Boy Color game. It has no colors. Now, what's really, really cool as well is if I, obviously, like I just showed, if I touch the top the top right of the screen, changes the brightness. If you touch the top left of the screen, you can actually change the color palettes. And there's something like 24 color palettes that you can choose from. That kind of just makes it look really cool. But like I say, this would have blown my mind as a kid. Wireless charging and this kind of like lit up screen. If I remember rightly as well, you can... I've forgotten how to open the menu. You can basically open like an on-screen... there we go. On-screen menu as well. For the screen. So you can control like the brightness and stuff like that. Which is really, really cool. I forgot how to control it. There we go. Yeah, so you can turn the brightness down. Oops. There we go. You can turn the brightness up and down from the menu, which is really, really crazy. But yeah, so that you can see my latest video on that on if you go on my YouTube channel. It was I think it was my latest video, or it was one of them. I don't know how many people who were joined here on the UK. But I basically break down how much this cost on the YouTube video, and in total it cost about 150 quid. It cost a lot of money just to make it. But yeah, that's a cool mod. YouTube, again, just the name of this, just look up Blown Cartridge. Kind of the same as my little name up there. Same logo as well, little BC in a Game Boy logo. You should find me straight away. I do all kinds of videos. I'm currently working on a Game Boy Pocket at the moment. I had a lot of 25 Game Boys, and I'm working through them one by one and saying exactly how much it cost for me to fix them and how I fixed it and all that kind of lovely stuff. But anyway, after that little detour, let's get back to kind of cleaning this down. So I want to have another go over the switches, just to make sure they're all working. Again, you can still see that even though I've taken the toothbrush to this, how much dirt and that's collected in these. So I'm going to try and blow it out if I can. Nope, that dirt not moving. That's actual dirt as opposed. Let's get a toothbrush in there and see if we can kind of get rid of a lot of it. There we go. Thanks for the sub, man. Like I say, I try to post whenever I can. Like I said earlier, this isn't actually like my full-time gig. I have a day job that's nowhere near related to any of this stuff. I got into like game flipping and repairing really weirdly. But I try and post content whenever I can. For people who might want to enjoy it or fix up their own tech and stuff like that. I'm just going to use some air here to blow out some of the alcohol. At some point, what I'd like to do is once I get to... I think you still need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, live streaming on YouTube as well. Because it's so hard with the kind of TikTok kind of orientation that you need for your screen to fit stuff like this in. Because like I said down here, I've actually got the box for this Nintendo 64 off screen that I started the video with. And I will upload this full screen as well. This full stream, sorry, to YouTube later on. So if you wanted to watch the whole thing, then feel free. Okay, so the top side, all clean. Let's have a look at the bottom. Let's get some more alcohol on this toothbrush. And like you said, man, let's clean out some of them sticky switches. If there are any, actually, it's in really good condition, so I don't expect there to be much stick on them. Yeah, they're absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Right, let's just give it a quick scrub on the inside, and then we get to the exciting bit, which is this absolutely beautiful controller, which I'm going to be taking apart and giving a clean. I think it's worth taking apart. It doesn't look too dirty, but I'm going to take it apart anyway, I think. Give this a quick scrub down. Get rid of any kind of dirt, which is the key word of this stream, which is dirt, because there's so much of it on these older consoles, man. Let's try and get into all them nooks and crevices, and then just use a dry wet. I know it doesn't make sense, but bear with me, it does. Just to kind of get rid of any of the dirt on this side. And then we'll be screwing this back together and then moving on to the controller. Again, just a quick blast of air just to get rid of anything. There we go. Right, let's start assembling this back. Okay, so I've got the bottom here that we've already cleaned. Gonna pop this on top and then hope that the switches line up. There we go. That's in quite flush. I'm just gonna give the memory expansion a quick clean. Now, what you'll see in a lot of YouTube, and I'm not throwing shade here, is I'll show you the kind of ASMR side that a lot of people do. That if you clean consoles, you don't really do this because it takes too much time. But what a lot of people on TikTok like to do, I'll show you, is basically get to the dirt like this and it looks amazing. Or people think it does on videos where there's not much dirt in this, but I'm just trying to get all the dirt out and you can see how much, there we go. You can kind of see how much dirt can come out. That's what a lot of people like to do. Personally, I don't like to do that. Again, toothbrush. And let's get some more alcohol on this bad boy. There we go. And give it a good clean. So much quicker. Not as showy. Because I'd rather do things properly than showy. There we go. Okay, let's give this another wipe down. And like I said, I'll be listing this on the store. Hopefully in the next week or so. There we go. Buttons are feeling good. Buttons are feeling clicky. Now, one last wipe. Flip it over. And then let's get our screws on. So again, the older Nintendo stuff doesn't use a Phillips head. It uses these old Game Bit screws. So we're just going to start screwing these in. Yeah, it is pretty clean. Oh, bugger, I've lost that in there. That's going to be tweezers. It has come out quite clean. I think the console's been really looked after, actually. Obviously, oh, bugger, I've done it again. Obviously, with even if you look after a console a lot, you'd be surprised once you open them up how much dirt's actually in them. I'll actually be posting a video later to both YouTube and TikTok, which is just basically me cleaning a PlayStation controller, a PlayStation 2 controller. And it's amazing how much dirt you can get in controllers, man. Like, so much dirt. Right, that's in there. Actually, I've just realised I've been really, really stupid because these need to actually go in and then be screwed in. Yep, that was silly. Right. Again, I like to show like when I make mistakes as well, because people on YouTube and on TikTok make it look as if they never make a mistake. People do make mistakes, obviously, when they're doing this. People forget the amount of times I've fixed a Game Boy and I forgot to put the buttons in on the front. So by the time you screwed it all in, you've missed a button and you have to open it all back up again. Right, let's get the foot in this time. There we go, that's much better. Get this screwed in. And then let's get the other foot and pop that in. So there's just 6 screws that screw the 2 shells together, the 2 parts of the shell, should I say. Whoops. Let's get this on screen. Get this screwed in properly. Here we go. Get it in nice and tight because we don't want the legs to come off or anything. What is this? This is an N64 Moon. So I'm currently doing a cleaning of an N64 that I'll be listing on my eBay later on. So if you just want to join, have a bit of an ASMR, have a chat. I want to ask any questions. Just want to chill and kind of speak about your day even. I'm happy for you to kind of ask. Again, this looks like a normal 64 and actually it is. I've got the box off screen here, but it's actually the gold edition that comes with GoldenEye and this amazing gold controller, which looks absolutely amazing. But we're going to be opening that up after this very shortly and giving that a good clean as well. Let's just screw this screw in when it wants to go in. There we go. Whoops. God, these are so stiff, she said. I'll come back. Let's stick this in here. There we go. But yeah, if people would prefer to watch this video as an ASMR, I'm happy to be a bit more quiet rather than yammering on. I'm happy either way. If people want to speak, I'll have a chat, post any kind of questions in the comments about anything at all to do with like kind of gaming and whatnot. God, that's in really, really tough. I might tighten these off stream later on just to make sure I've got them all right. So I don't want to be sat here wasting everyone. Yeah, it is too old to play big games. I mean, actually, what do you consider a big game? Because GoldenEye 007 is a big game. Nah, I joke. I do get a lot of modern stuff in as well. Like I said, one of my rarest consoles I've got ever is behind me, and at some point I'm going to do a YouTube video behind it, and that's a modern console. It's just really, really rare. And like I say, what I just was showing on the stream earlier is even if it's an older console, like this, what I was just showing off, there's no reason an old console can't look like a modern console and just play older games. You know, there's no reason old tech should be forgotten or just ignored just because of some of the newer stuff, in my opinion. Especially when some of the older games are the best games. Oh man, it sucks that TikTok's lagging for you. To be honest, I'm hoping it's not my internet. I actually live out in the country in the UK and don't have decent internet. I'm hoping it's not my side. But yeah, so all these screws are nearly in. I'm not going to tighten them up too much because, like I said, I'll do them off screen just to make sure they're absolutely tight before it gets listed. And I don't want to bore everyone trying to thread screws in. But they're not falling out, so that's something. Right, so the more interesting part. So if people are just joining in as well, and they're kind of more interested in why is it not just a normal N64, it's a little hard for me to show off, especially on TikTok. But if I just get this in shot, I've actually got the box for it here, in really kind of nice condition, but it's the limited edition with the gold controller that actually comes with GoldenEye, and the box is in like just a really super nice condition. I'm just kind of restoring it a bit. Right, controller. Okay, so let's have a little look at this. So again, much like the console, it's not too dirty, but the problem with controllers is all the hidden stuff is probably absolutely disgusting. What kind of screws are we looking at here? It looks like they're all Phillips heads. So I'm going to give it a good scrub. So, I haven't opened up one of these for a very long time. So, bear with me because Nintendo 64 controllers are weird as it is. Let's just get it unscrewed and see what we're dealing with. That's 2 screws. There we go, 3 screws. And then there's the one in the middle. But yeah, if anyone's got any kind of questions, feel free to ask. If you want to talk about anything to do with gaming, or you've got any questions about what I'm doing, or you just want to chat about things in reason, don't go mad, I don't know the meaning of life or anything like that. I'd be interested to hear where you guys are from. Like, I'm based in the UK. Oh god, that's a tight screw. There we go, it's starting to come out now. Right, let's see how bad this controller looks. So it should just slip out. Oh no, I'm being stupid. So there's actually, if I switch to a smaller Phillips. Oh, nice, Sprunk from the US. Nice to have you in, man, I appreciate it. What time is it over in the US? Is it not really late? Let's just try and get these screws. They're a bit stiff. Let's see if I've got a smaller screw that might fit a bit better. How much is the gaming station actually worth? So that's a good question. Like I said, at the moment, the retro gaming market is absolutely all over the place. Stuff is rising up really, really kind of high. Like I say, I like to buy stuff, repair it if it needs repairing, and clean it up and get it ready so it lives long enough for people to enjoy retro gaming on it, or modern day consoles, whichever console it may be. I actually bought this for about £95, which is a lot of money, but to be honest with you, most boxed Nintendo 64s will go for around that anyway. So I'd probably sell this for maximum about 150, 160. That's just kind of my take on it. I'm struggling to get these screws out. There we go, I think I've got it coming. Yeah, they're just a bit stiff, there we go. But yeah, I like to have a kind of question whenever I do these kind of streams. So like, my last stream I was asking everyone what was the first game they ever played. Because I kind of like hearing that kind of stuff. But my question this stream is, I'm currently listening to a gaming soundtrack while I'm speaking to you guys and while I'm fixing this. And I was just wondering if any of you guys actually listening to gaming music while you work, or while you go to the gym, or while you chill, or anything like that. Oh god, this is a tight screw, I'm sorry. Oh come on, I really want to open this up, but they're so tight. Is it still functional? Yeah, I'm hoping so. I always clean stuff out. I always clean stuff out before I kind of sell it on eBay and give it a full test after I've cleaned it out. So it was sold to me as working. So yeah, it still should be fully functional. Wow, first game Call of Duty World War II. Nice. I'm unfortunately way older than that. My first ever game I played was the original Sonic 2 on the Sega Mega Drive. Well, we called it the Mega Drive over here. It'll be the Genesis over in the US. Many years ago. Oh, come on, screw. I can't get this screw out. It's really stuck in there. And I don't want to thread it. Let's see if I've got just a slightly better fitting screwdriver. Nope, that's not fitting in either. This is annoying. You always get one screw. There's always one screw in each thing that just doesn't want to play. No. Let's go back to this one. otherwise I'm not going to be able to get this open, and I really want to get it open. Right, okay, I'm going to try a bit of a trick here, which is just, I'm going to put some padding around the screwdriver, just to see if that helps giving it a bit of kind of traction. It's not really helping either. Oh, come on, I really want to get this controller open. Nope, that's not working. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this one works. Oh, we might be in luck. It's definitely coming out this time. Come on. But yeah, it's been many years since I've seen the inside of a Nintendo 64 controller. So it should be interesting to open one up and see what we've got. Come on, we're nearly there. So tiny, these little screws. Are you going to come out? Yay, there we go. Smash them. So now, in theory, let me just move these screwdriver bits over. We should, let me just give it a quick wipe, be able to get the controller open. There we go. So if you've never seen the inside of a Nintendo 64 controller, there we go. Thought that was the Thanos glove. Yeah, I can see that. That's fantastic. Just kind of like, was it The Simpsons that have 3 fingers or something like that? Yeah, I can totally see how you could see that as being the Thanos glove. That's fantastic. Right, let's see. Now, I can see 2, 3, 4 screws. Now, I'm only wanting to get to basically the front buttons because that's where all the dirt is. These triggers don't actually look too bad. Triggers normally get the dirtiest at least. Okay, let's open this even deeper. We've already got it open, so we might as well head deeper. Let's get these open. Just to see how bad. You watch, I'll open this up and the buttons won't be too bad. But at least I'll know that before it gets sold that it'll be clean. Let's get this one out. There we go, that one, and then this black one here, or does that just, can that just stay in there? Yeah, that's just for the thumb stick, that's fine. Now, this should just pull out. Just be careful with the cable there. There we go, okay. Let's see how dirty this is. So again, if you've been watching this for that long, you'll have noticed that the front of the controller looked clean as anything. Let's see how dirty it actually is once you get it open. Not too bad. There is obviously dust and bits and pieces, but nothing too major by the looks of it. Nothing spilled in it. No, they're actually looking quite clean. Okay, we're still going to take them out. We're still going to take them out and then give them a quick scrub with some alcohol. And just take the rubbers up as well, the contacts, because these might be quite dirty as well for the D-pad. Come on. There we go. Yep, again, just little bits of dirt and dust, nothing too bad. D-pads can normally get quite bad. It's actually not too dirty either. That's looking quite good. Right, well, I'm quite impressed with this then. It looks like the console was pretty clean. It doesn't look like it's actually being used that much. Anyway, let's give it a rub down with all like the key areas that get dirty. Yo, Felicia, what up, man? I'm doing really good. I'm just enjoying Oh, there we go, actually. Sorry to cut in there. You can see here, hopefully, how bad some of the dirt is. That you didn't see when we had it all fully kind of thing. This is what happens to your consoles and your controllers. But yeah, Felicia, I'm absolutely good. Thank you very much. Are you all good? Is everyone else all good? I don't know where you're from, but it's the weekend over here in the UK. And it's completely dark outside. It's getting to kind of nighttime over here. But everything's all good. So, yeah. Again, so what I was explaining before, I might be able to demo it a bit better here. I'm going to have to be really delicate with this controller because the controller is what makes the console so much more rare. So, if you've been watching the stream or any of my other videos, I'd take just a toothbrush to them, which is quite delicate. But what you'll see a lot of people do on TikTok, because it looks really, really good, and they do it on YouTube as well, but no one really does it properly. Because it makes no sense to, right? I might as well just take a kind of toothbrush to this. But if you like kind of like ASMR and cleaning stuff, let me see if I can get the camera to fix in on this. So you see all this dirt here? Now, if I just slightly run this up and kind of scoop all that dirt up and kind of peel it all off. That's what a lot of people do for ASMR on TikTok and YouTube. It looks kind of really cool on the videos. But it's just far easier to get the toothbrush on it. There we go. I'm just going to move some of this dirt off. And then, like I said, toothbrush and some alcohol. But yeah, what's everyone up to? Is anyone playing any games at the moment? Anything they're enjoying playing? I'm always happy to hear what people are playing if they've got any kind of gaming suggestions. Cutting my toenails. Nice. There we go. Right. Fall asleep. Yeah, what time is it over in the USA? Is it like really late at night, or is it really early? Is it like midday? Actually, the more I look at it, I don't know if you can see it too much on camera, but there is quite a lot of dirt on here. So I'm glad I opened it up. Midday, yeah, there's nothing like a midday snooze, is there? Like I say, it's the weekend over here. It's a Saturday over here in the UK. Sundays are definitely for midday snoozers. So I've been trying to sell some sages, and I think I'm selling it quite cheap. Some sages? What are sages, man? Am I missing something? People asking for freebies. Yeah, so I kind of get that a lot as well. Like I say, I sell a lot of Game Boys. If you check out my... Oh, Sega. Right, got you. Yeah. So, yeah, I've come across a lot of people on... I sell predominantly on eBay in the UK. And you get a lot of people when you sell them a Game Boy that's like, oh, can I just have this game for free? And you're like, sorry, man. Like, you know, I'm not just going to throw in a free game for you. It's not how business works. Like, don't get me wrong, I do this as kind of like a hobby. I run it as a business, but I don't like to overprice my stuff. Like I say, if you're interested in this kind of stuff on my YouTube channel, normally when I'm fixing something and I'm doing a video on it, I'll break down exactly how much it cost and how I fixed it. Just because there's a lot of people that are quite wary of people that flip or repair stuff, and it's like, oh, you know, you're basically just buying stuff for cheap and then just selling it straight on without no effort, when really... I mean, I don't know how long this stream's been going. I feel like I've been on stream maybe an hour or two, and this is just cleaning one console. I mean, obviously I'm speaking to you guys as well, but, you know, like, it takes a lot of time to clean it if you do it properly and repair stuff properly, and it can cost a lot of money if you need the right parts. Especially if you want to repair stuff kind of properly and faithfully without any third-party parts. Let's just try and get into some of the buttons. But yeah, like Felicia, a lot of like rare, a lot of I don't know how you're finding it, but over here in the UK, like it sounds like you're from the UK as well. The retro gaming market at the moment's going a bit crazy. I've noticed that there's a lot of the prices for a lot of stuff is going absolutely sky high compared to what it was even like 6 months ago. It's really, really strange. And there's a lot of people on TikTok and whatnot talking about as if the retro gaming market's going to crash. And I think that's such, well, crap, to be honest with you, in my opinion. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, I've always said that the gaming market will never crash. Like, the retro gaming market will never crash because you'll always have people wanting to play on old original consoles and stuff. But what does affect the retro gaming market is when people, well, game developers and companies bring out ports or remasters, right? So, like, really kind of weird and out there kind of game, but this is the first one that comes to my mind. But if you think of things like ActRaiser for the SNES, that's kind of really rare over in the UK. They brought out like of it for the Nintendo Switch, and the original price of that just bombed. And it's the same with stuff like Nintendo are putting a lot of stuff on, like, not their kind of like virtual console, but on Switch at the moment you can play like Nintendo 64 games. I'm pretty sure at some point they've promised that Paper Mario is coming to the Nintendo 64 emulator on Switch, which is one of the rarer games from the top of my head that can cost a lot of money, which is just going to be worth a lot less once people realise they can just, you know, play it properly on a Switch. But people will still want to play on original hardware. The gaming market isn't going to get crash or anything. It's just more expensive for things at the moment. Right, the inside of the shell's looking a lot cleaner. I'm just going to take some more alcohol on an earbud and kind of really get into the kind of controller parts where the buttons are. And then we'll take the toothbrush to the rest of it and try and really get in the dirt for the Nintendo logo. But yeah, retro gaming at the moment's a bit weird. There's the price of the things are getting very weird. Yeah, man, that's pretty decent for a Master System, even with without the controllers and the cables and everything. That's really, really decent. Like I said, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I'm doing a YouTube series at the moment where I bought 25 Game Boy spares and repairs, like DMGs, colours, and I'm just going through them episode by episode, one by one, and saying how much each one cost for me to fix and what I did to fix them. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, check that out. Modified Master System. So what was modified about it, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, I'm glad you watched my videos, man. I'll try to, like I say, I wish I had more time to put out content, but I kind of do this as like a bit of a hobby / side business. Like, my real job day to day in life is nothing like this. It's nothing to do with gaming at all. Right, let's just get the toothbrush on this and get rid of some of the... There's not a lot of dirt on this controller, but let's give it a scrub anyway. Oh, nice. 50 to 60 hertz switch. That's really, really cool, actually. That's really, really cool for a mod. I've not seen many people mod Master Systems. It's very rare, like, you see anything that old getting modded, to be honest with you. That's really, really cool. So did you mod that yourself, or did you just sell it as one of your own collection, or... Amos, my day job. My day job is I'm a web developer. A coder. Over here in the UK. Nothing to do with gaming or whatnot. It's a really funny story how I got into cleaning this stuff. and selling and repairing and flipping games, which at some point, if anyone wants to know, I'll put a video on YouTube, or if people are interested now, I can give you a quick lowdown. But at some point, I'd like to maybe start doing vlogs on YouTube and just kind of, because I mean, it's been a lot of time since, I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since I did a YouTube video. There's a few reasons for that. So I actually have some, unfortunately, I have some exotic pets and one of them passed away. So I kind of took a break. Also my day job, like I said, I'm a web developer, can get quite hectic at times. And me and my partner, my fiance, we've just currently got a new puppy. We've currently just got a new puppy, so that's been quite hectic as well. Oh, nice, did the mod yourself. That's really, really cool, man. Like, people that mod retro content, like kind of retro gaming, so it can be used by people that don't have that knowledge or repair it, like, up there in my books. You guys are the coolest people, seriously. But yeah, okay, so the reason I got into this, so Felicia, you're from the UK, so you'll understand this a lot better. So again, being a web developer ever since I kind of left school, and then obviously we had COVID last year, and obviously the year before, however long ago it was, and we were all in lockdown in the UK and all that kind of stuff. I was working from home as a web developer, saving a lot of money on transport and everything. And my partner, we was kind of furloughed as well, so we were saving a bit of money here and there, and we actually decided, you know what we're going to do is actually sell near enough everything we own so we could buy our first house, like get a deposit for our first house. One second, I'm just going to take a drink. Yeah, so me and my partner, big into tech, big into gaming, all that kind of lovely stuff. I sold like everything I had near enough, and so did my partner. So she sold like everything that she had. I sold everything I had, like rare as hell video games, consoles, TVs, laptops. We sold everything just to get a deposit. And I sold all that on eBay. We rose like, 15 grand or however much it was, by selling tons and tons of stuff. And it got to a point where like I really enjoyed selling it. I've always modded consoles, but I've always modded consoles for myself rather than for other people or kind of anything. And I just kind of, that mixed up with like getting our first house and selling God knows how many items and consoles on eBay. So I decided then, I mean the business, so like Blown Cartridge is my business that I do on the side. I've only been doing that for about a year. But basically I kind of enjoyed it, and in my own time I do stuff like this, sell on eBay, fix people's consoles if they want them fixing or want them modding, and it just kind of spiraled from there. Really, and I've really enjoyed it. I can just do this in my spare time when I want. If I've got no time one week because I'm too busy because of family or friends or, work, because like as a web developer, you don't really work the 9 till 5 all the time. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Like, it's like, obviously it's a lot. It's hard nowadays for a lot of people in all countries. In the UK at the moment, they're just getting the housing kind of crisis we've got. Is a bit crazy, to be honest with you. It's so weird that you need so much money for a deposit when actually during the month, you could quite happily pay a mortgage or anything like that. But no, we sold everything we owned. We sold like tons of games, like really rare stuff. We actually sold a lot of Pokemon cards as well. That sounds really, really silly. But we ended up selling like at least 3 to 4 grand's worth of Pokemon cards. Just so we could get a deposit sorted. And it was a fun experience, and I really enjoyed it, which is kind of why I opened the business. I love fixing stuff for people, and stuff like that. Right, let's start reassembling the front of this shell before I give it one last look over and start cleaning some. Yeah, I'm glad people enjoy it, man. Like I say, at some point, I'm going to try and start uploading to YouTube more and more. I've kind of got 2 ideas for my next video, so I've actually got Game Boy number 10 of the Game Boy Grand Prix series just to the left there that I'm currently working on at the moment. Some of the videos actually take a lot of time to do the Game Boy Grand Prix series, basically because I have to order parts in. I don't buy like a lot of parts and then, go from there. My other video that I'm thinking of doing is, you might have seen on my YouTube that I do like a finds video about stuff I find in the wild, like, gaming stuff, rare stuff. There's actually something I've already mentioned on this stream. I've not said exactly what it is. I'm happy to tell people if they're interested, but I've got something that's like the pinnacle of rare gaming wise, like under the bed behind me. It's nothing retro by any means. It's only like a few years old, but like as far as rare console goes, it's quite rare. Right, let's stick this B button in. That's the wrong slot, I believe. Luckily, there we go. Luckily, Nintendo put these little notches, buttons on the controller, so you know exactly what goes in where. Yeah, Amos, right, so what it is, so I don't know how long ago it was, but a few years ago, it was the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation's, was it 25th anniversary, I think? It was something like the 25th anniversary. And what they did is they brought out 12,000 anniversary edition PS4s. And now these things, yeah, if you've seen them, they're absolutely amazing. Like, so cool. I've got it in the box, everything. It's been used, but it's absolutely immaculate. If anyone's not seen it, like, look up the anniversary edition PS4s. There was only like 12,000 made in the entire of the world. 12,100 and something, I think. And each one's got the number. The consoles look absolutely fantastic. So it's just a standard PS4 console, but it's the PlayStation 1 Grey that's got all the X's, the zero, the O's, like the circles, the triangles, all on it. It came with like the camera as well and the controller, and it was all in like a really nice presentation box. I actually got it off eBay, weirdly enough, off someone who was an ex-PlayStation Europe employee, who was just selling it on because he needed the money for something, and I got in there dead lucky and I managed to get it for a goodish price, and I'm currently keeping it in the back of my bedroom for like a rainy day or if someone really, really wants it. But at the moment it's staying with me. I'll do a video on that at some point, just kind of unboxing it. Yeah, you can find some really good stuff on eBay, Felicia. I get like a large majority of my stuff off eBay, like because I work from home. That's the wrong one. Because I work from home, and like kind of my work times are quite flexible, I'm able to kind of scope out eBay a lot of the time. Sometimes I'll pick stuff up locally, but you get normally most of the cheaper stuff off eBay. I've sold all kinds of stuff, and found all kinds of stuff as well. I don't know, like, this might be a really silly question, but I don't know if anyone here has played a game called Black and White for the PC back in the day, like many, many years ago. If anyone has, let me know and I'll show you something really, really cool. Yeah, Black and White, Amos. Okay, let me show you something really, really cool. Really, one sec, let me just go grab it. Right, okay. So, Black and White was a game for PC back in the day. It was like a God Sim, where you could make your own monsters and you had your own, you fought and you could kill people or feed them or whatever. Now, this is just the back of the cover. Again, it looks nice and normal. But what makes it so cool is the front, which is it's signed by like most of the devs and the designers and the QAs and the testers and everything. And it's just so cool. And I found it on eBay for like a tenner. And it looks legit. Like, it looks like actual like pen marks It's not like photocopied. It was like 10 quid on eBay, and I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm not being funny. The game alone is like worth £10 to me. So I picked that up. That's a really cool thing. Profit on Game Boys. Now, that's a really, really good question. Now, Game Boy DMGs, so like the original fat ones, I'm selling a lot of them on eBay at the moment, and they're really hard to sell. Really, really hard to sell DMGs, because what's the point in buying a DMG when you can just buy like a Game Boy Color, or a Game Boy SP, or a Game Boy Advance, because they've got better screens, better battery life, and all that kind of lovely stuff. Is this the right one? I think it is. Game Boy Colors sell really well, and you can normally get good money for them. Peter Molyneux, Amos. Peter Molyneux, he went on to do things like Fable, and stuff like that. The famous Peter Molyneux, or infamous maybe. But yeah, so I picked that game up, that signed game, off eBay, and kind of looked up the developers. And one of the actual developers, favorite game. One of the developers that actually signed this, I actually got in touch with, and they've not gotten back to me. But one of the developers who worked on Black and White that signed that actually worked on 2 Point Hospital and 2 Point Campus. He went on to make them games, which are obviously really, really, really good games. I tried to get in touch with him on Twitter. Just look, like, I found this for next to nothing. Does it have any sentimental value to you guys? Do you want it? Because, like, I haven't got a clue about this. Like, obviously, I can't find any history on this whatsoever. But this could have been, like, the first edition. This could have been the first print. This could have been, like, the first copy that got delivered to the office, that all of them signed. That there might be a lot of memories in this. He didn't actually get back in touch with me. I should really get back in touch with him. But yeah, in terms of profits on Game Boys, you have to be really, really careful. Game Boy Colors sell really well. Game Boy Advances don't sell as well, in my opinion anyway, unless you mod them and give them a better screen. And Game Boy SPs sell quite well. The most profit I tend to make up on is Game Boy Colors, in my opinion. Wow, so you actually have a copy of Metal Gear Solid 1 and Twin Six signed by the Snake. Is that what you're telling me? Just finishing up cleaning these buttons here. Wow, so that's really, really cool. I feel like as cool as like the Black and White signatures is, if you can get stuff signed by David Hayter, and actually you have the story of you meeting him at a convention, that is like absolutely fantastic. Wow, I'm a little bit jealous. That's fantastic. Did he seem like a really cool person? Was he like happy? He always seems like quite jokey and fun. When you see him on videos and stuff, he really leans into being Snake. It's fantastic. There we go. So that D-pad's looking a lot better. Luckily, a lot of this controller isn't too dirty. Incredibly humble, energy, high energy, and very fun. Yeah, man, he really comes across like that. That's so cool. I'm really, really jealous. That's absolutely fantastic. I have a funny story about MGS1. So like, I'm an old sod. So like, I'm older than 30. Metal Gear Solid 1 was like the first game I got for a PS1. And I was obviously really, really young. I can't remember how young I was, but I was very, very young. And the original copy of Metal Gear Solid came with a demo for Silent Hill. And my little young brain decided to play that. And like the demo for the original Silent Hill when you were a kid in that day of age is absolutely terrifying. The whole squeaky wheel wheelchair, the foghorn, the little like children that come and attack you. Absolutely hated it. I couldn't go upstairs by myself for like 2 weeks as a kid. It absolutely destroyed me. But no, meeting David Hayter, that's really cool. So like, I'm trying to think some of the stuff that I've met and people I mean, not really met, but like, so I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy. Like we were talking earlier on the stream about gaming music. So I'm listening to gaming music at the moment while talking to you guys. But I'm really into Final Fantasy, or like especially the older Final Fantasies. And I've actually been to Royal Albert Hall twice to go see like the proper orchestra do the Final Fantasy music, which is absolutely amazing. Nobuo Uematsu, one of the best video game music composers of all time. Saw him there twice doing actual orchestra, which was phenomenal, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I can imagine he does do a lot of impressions of Snake because, like, Snake made him, right? Like, don't get me wrong, he's a really good person, but, like, you know, he is the Snake, even though they tried to, like, re-voice cast him and stuff. I'm not being funny. David Hayter is the Snake. Like, yeah, it was an amazing experience, man. Like, it was so cool. Like, I don't like to tend to go on about it much, but I really got Final Fantasy's back when it comes to music because Yue Yoshida, obviously, the way he did gaming music, even back in the NES days, is, as far as I'm aware, he wrote the orchestral score, then translated it to like MIDI or the video game music. So that's why a lot of it sounds so good. But then when you go and see the video game music being played, it's the actual orchestral score, so it sounds and it's absolutely fantastic. I always remember when we went to go see it, obviously, if you're a Final Fantasy fan, there's a song a lot of people go mad for, which is One Winged Angel, which is it's Sephiroth's music, right, from Final Fantasy 7. So a lot of people know that. And what they always do is there's a lyric in the song that just says Sephiroth, and they got the entire of Royal Albert Hall to say it in unison. And honestly, goosebumps on the arm were just felt. It was absolutely incredible. It was so much fun. Away from that, before many years ago, I actually started a kind of a gaming news website. It didn't get too big. We got a few fans, a good few thousand followers on Twitter, and I went kind of into like setting up my own journalist website because obviously I was a web developer. I could kind of do that, and I loved writing. We did that for a few years, and we actually, this is many years ago, we actually got invited to, I don't know if you're aware of EGX in the UK, which is like the UK's biggest gaming convention. You go there and see like all the new technology, and all the devs give you like background talks of everything and whatnot. And we went as press. We got invited there fully as press, like behind the stage passes, being able to try all the new tech and everything. And two things happened there, right? So this was many years ago when VR wasn't a big thing, but we managed to speak to HTC, and we got to go on the Vive before the Vive got released to the public. And we played 3 demos, and one of them was that they had this Portal demo where you saw GLaDOS in real life and you were assembling a robot, and it was absolutely mind-blowing. It was fantastic. The other big thing is they have a lot of conferences at EGX where they have a lot of game developers speaking in that. And that year, they actually had president of PlayStation Japan there. I always butcher Japanese names, so I apologize, but I'm pretty sure it was Shuei Yoshida, sorry. And obviously someone was there translating everything he was saying, but like it was such a good interview to hear like people question him about like setting up PlayStation, what it's been like working there, and absolutely fantastic person, fantastic guy. Okay, so we're nearly here with all of this. We're just finishing off some of these buttons now. But yeah, I'm always interested to hear like people that have met like people in video games in real life. Like David Hayter's up there, right? Like that if you could meet many people who've played a video game character, I can imagine like you're so lucky to have met David Hayter and kind of had that experience with him. I've always felt really weird about meeting like like, I'm not a celebrity person at all. Like, I just wouldn't know how to act around a celebrity. So I was always worried that if I was to meet a celebrity in person, I'd just like not know what to say. Not like being like, nervous around them or anything. Just I wouldn't know what to say or anything. But like David Hayter, man, that's fantastic. Especially to have stuff signed as well. That's so cool. Right, have we got much left to do with this? Let's have a look. So I don't particularly want to take these little joysticks apart because even though I didn't have an N64 as a kid, I am more than well aware that these can be quite finicky. Let's give it a scrub down with some alcohol. Yeah, EGX was absolutely cool. Even if you can't go as press, I really recommend you go because like you get all of the latest games there. It's basically like the UK's version of E3 in a really small way. It's really cool. Let's give this a good scrub because this is disgusting. Again, all I'm using is IPA, not IPA, that's a beer. I should probably alcohol, so I can scrub down any of these contacts and they'll be absolutely fine. Because there's no water really in it. I've never noticed before that the rubbers on a Nintendo 64 controller, the right one and the left one are different colours. Oh well, that's interesting. I never honestly knew that. Yeah, that's looking so much better. So if you don't mind me asking, Amos, what convention did you say, sorry, that you met David Hayter at? Because like, what I found with the UK is it doesn't have a lot of actual proper gaming conventions. It has a lot of like local things, but nothing like really big. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, I'm happy to chat with people and that's why I kind of made my YouTube as well, right? Because on YouTube, I like to basically say, a lot of people on YouTube who do amazing work with Game Boys and fixing up retro consoles, they don't actually go up into the price of it. And like, they also don't go through any of the problems. There's so many people that post YouTube videos of like fixing gaming consoles and tech that don't show when they actually muck up or don't show when they come in across a problem or anything like that. And you need to show that stuff, right? Because everyone should want other people. Like, I'm not kind of jealous if anyone kind of starts like watches any of these videos and goes, I'll start selling and repairing Game Boys or repairing consoles. In fact, I want people to start doing that. Fix consoles, fix your own consoles, like, and sell them on to people that can enjoy them. Like, I'm doing it because I want to preserve the tech, not because I want to make money. Like, I'm not being funny. There's what doesn't matter what people say. From my opinion, there's not a lot of money in repairing and flipping gaming consoles. I do it because I have a passion for it, that kind of thing. Right, okay, so I'm just going to double check here that all the buttons are in, apart from that one that's just fallen out. Yep, we're looking fine. Them two that have fallen out. Yeah, so MCM, London, nice. I'm really jealous that you went to go see that. So I'm actually based up the north, so you don't get a lot of that up here. And EGX, at least the year I went to EGX, is over in Birmingham. That wasn't too bad of a journey. Right, what I'm going to do is screw this back in just so it doesn't fall about everywhere. And then I'll start doing the back part of the shell. So I'm just going to hold this down here, start screwing this in. Ah, nice, Birmingham based. Yeah, like... We stayed there for like, because we went as press, we had like the 3 or 4 or 5 days, however long it was. And like sometimes we kind of mucked off and went to go have a look around Birmingham, and it's absolutely lovely place. Have the internals changed much? That's a really good question, Carol. Like, so you're talking like a modern Xbox controller. Now, actually, yes, I would say so. So if you give me 1 second, I can kind of demonstrate. So, yes and no is the answer. But, like, this is currently a controller that I'm selling on eBay. It's not a first-party Xbox controller, but it's made by a decent third-party, Afterglow. I've never had a problem with them. It's really, really good. And you can kind of see how much tech's kind of gone into this. Like, it's a clear shell. But you can kind of see that there's a lot more kind of in it compared to just like a bit of a motherboard. A lot of the kind of basis stays the same. So your analogs are quite similar, apart from like the N64 that's got that weird analog nub. A lot of them are quite similar. You'll find that in like 99% of controllers, even compared to modern, old, it doesn't matter, are basically the same thing, right? Where they've got the, you've got like kind of your normal buttons that then have your contact under that then has the actual kind of trigger on it. So they're all quite similar, to be honest with you. What I'm trying to get across in a lot of my videos is there's a lot of people that will have a controller and they've had it for many years, or it's on a retro console, and a lot of people just say they're broke when it's coming across as broken, when actually what you can do is just open them up and give them a clean, and 9 times out of 10 they'll start working again, just because they've got dirty contacts and dirt somehow got into the controller. And that's really clear with things like Game Boys. So you'll find on eBay a lot of people selling Game Boys, Game Boy Colors, Game Boy Pockets, who say start and select isn't working, or A and B isn't working, or anything like that, or it doesn't turn on. 99% of the Game Boys I've bought, spares and repairs, actually can be fixed by just taking them apart and rubbing some alcohol on the contacts or on the switches. Yeah, and that's it. And that's it. You've got a fully working Game Boy. There's a lot of people that just don't. And I mean, like, Game Boys just are quite easy to open and repair, and to clean. So, but no, a lot of like, from my experience, a lot of like the basis of gaming, of controllers and stuff hasn't changed a lot at all. It's a really good question, actually. But it's mainly all the kind of the same thing. You can normally open them up and put them back together quite easily. This might look quite scary to. It's actually really easy to take something apart. Just remember how you took it apart to put it back together, and you're absolutely golden. Like I say, you can check out a lot of my videos on Vine. Not Vine, bloody hell, that's good. That's showing my age. That, not Vine, TikTok. You can check out a lot of my videos on TikTok. Even things like Wiimotes. So I did a Wiimote not so long ago, which you might think is quite complex. If you actually look what's inside a Wiimote, there is not a lot of stuff in a Wiimote. PlayStation stuff, yeah, PlayStation controllers can be quite annoying. Like I say, I keep coming back to it, but Game Boys are one of the easiest you can take apart. If you want to start learning how to fix stuff or clean stuff, restore stuff, start with a Game Boy. Really, really easy to do. And there's a lot you can do with modding, right? So, like, I showed this off earlier in the stream, but this is one of my latest videos on YouTube, which this is a modded Game Boy Color that I made absolutely from scratch, near enough. And it's got a wireless charging battery in it, so you can charge it like you could on a contactless charger, like for a mobile phone or whatever. You'd think that's really complex, and it's actually really, really not. All you have to take one terminal out, which literally just slots out, and you just put the battery straight in it, and it's like, that's it. It's good to go. And then, you know, you've got a nice fancy IPS screen on there as well, with nice little touch controls for the brightness. But yeah. Have I had a privilege of opening a PS5 controller? No. So obviously I'm a gamer as well. You know, I've got a passion for games. I got a PlayStation 5 on release. But at the moment, because a lot of the stuff I buy is to repair, even broken Even broken PS5s go for a lot of money. I've not had a chance to open them, but you actually raise a good question, actually, because obviously owning a PS5, that'll be about a year or two. How old's the PS5 now? It's about 2 year old now, or 1 year old. But I could do with opening that up and cleaning it myself. That's not a bad idea, actually. Thanks for that, Carol. I might actually make a video on that. Because I do know they've obviously got a bit more tech in them than most controllers. Was it a funny playing screen? I believe it is, yeah. So, I buy the majority of my parts from Retro 6. I'm pretty sure it was a funny playing Q4 IPS. But yeah, I might open up a PS5 controller at some point because I've never done it before. One thing I would not recommend at all if you're going to start fixing consoles, especially modern consoles, do not even try to attempt to fix Nintendo Switches. I bought a Nintendo Switch Lite. That all that had wrong with it was it needed a new USB-C port. Basically, the other one had been bent on the inside. The screen was absolutely intact. Battery was absolutely fine. Controllers were absolutely fine. But they are such a pain to open up to fix. Oh, man. Like, it's still up on my shelf over there to be fixed because I can't be bothered with it because it's such a pain. But yeah, I've not got a lot of stock in the moment that needs repairing. Like I said to you, the retro gaming market at the moment is all over the place. There's a lot of stuff that's starting to cost a fortune. And I feel like because of the cost of living crisis happening in here in the UK, people are trying to sell the retro gaming stuff, kind of so they've got the money for it. And people are selling it because they know the value of it now, right? Like, people know, even if you're not into gaming, that a lot of retro games are worth a fortune, and it's quite easy enough for people now to look up how much something costs before they sell it. But no, it's actually a good idea to open a PS5 controller. I've not done that yet. I'll probably take you up on that, Kero, at some point and actually open mine and just have a little poke around it and see what they're like on the inside. I actually quite like the PlayStation 5 controllers. Oh, car boots, mate. Like, so Felicia. So, like, as a kid, that's one of the reasons I got into this as well, is I love buying stuff off people and kind of seeing what they've got. And I'm one of them really nosy people at car boots where it's like, ooh, what have you got? And I'll go through digging all the stuff. Politely, of course. But I'll go digging through all the stuff. Car boots, like, back when I was a kid, it would be like, oh, Pokemon Silver, £10 or something. And you'd be like, okay, cool. Would you do, like, I don't know, 7, or you'd haggle or whatever. And, you know, you'd both come to agreement. As an adult, I've started going back to car boots again to try and get stock. And people at car boots now are in, like... it's like another world. Like, oh, okay, so I've got this beat-up Game Boy that the screen's broke, but it does turn on 50 quid, like you say. And it's like, what the hell? Like, it's a broken Game Boy. Or, like, people selling PS3s for, like, 100 quid. Like, not even the backward compatible 60GB ones. They won't move on the price or anything. It's really, really weird over in the UK for retro gaming stuff. Someone's selling, like, I don't know, a Nintendo Wii for, like, 50 quid. And it's like, what? Oh, yeah, some of them are dreaming. Like I said to a lot of people, like, I try and cost stuff as low as I can for my store because I enjoy the fixing, I enjoy the cleaning, and then I just want people to enjoy it. And there's a lot of people I get that are like, oh, basically what you're doing is you're just taking stuff for people who are selling stuff cheap and just selling it straight on without any effort. And it's like, right, so I've been streaming right here. I feel like I've been going for 2 hours cleaning this. And yes, I've been speaking and doing it quite casually. But if you do it properly, people don't realise how much time actually goes into, like, restoring stuff and getting the right equipment to fix stuff and the amount of time you put in. I plugged a PS5 controller into my PC and Spotify started playing through the haptic feedback. What? That's mental. That's fantastic. That's really, really cool. I didn't even know it could do that. My intention is to just keep rotating stuff. Yeah, man. So like I say, so you take that Game Boy that I just showed off earlier, and like I say, I kind of went all out on that just because I wanted to make a video and I wanted to make like the childhood Game Boy I'd have always wanted, like wireless charging and, you know, a light screen and, you know, a nice red shell, whatnot. And I actually said on the video, I can't remember the exact price, but to fix it and all the parts I put into it, it cost me 150 quid. And I believe at my eBay store, I'm selling at the moment, I'm selling it for like 180, 190, which is a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But like, considering how much effort goes into repairing them, the soldering skills, you know, it's like, a lot of people are just like, oh, that's insane amount of money. And yeah, it is, to be honest with you. But, you know, sorry about all the questions. What was the question? Let me just check. Yeah, so if you're asking like kind of if it's worth getting a PS5, if you can get your hands on them, I think it's worth it. I actually bought a digital one on release because, you know, I went digital with all my games. I have done for years, which I very much regret. And I regret buying the digital now because there's a lot of games coming out now that you're actually paying about 50 or 60 quid for, that, to be honest with you, you can beat in the matter of a few days if you've got the time free. And then you've just got a 60 quid disc lying around that you could trade back in or whatever. Or just keep it if you like it that much. And digital gaming at the moment's getting a bit, you know, there's a lot of people like, what's happening at the moment with like, the Nintendo Wii U and 3DS store, where Nintendo over the next few months are saying, nah, that's it, you know, you're no longer able to like buy and all this stuff. Which actually reminds me, I need to get my 3DS and kind of download everything. My 3DS is a weird one though. It's one of the, I don't know if people have ever heard of a really cool fact. I don't know if many people on this kind of stream have heard of the 3DS screen lottery. If people haven't, let me know and I'll kind of fill you in. I've got one of the better lottery ones. And they're actually worth a lot of money now, and they're quite hard to tell apart, but there are ways you can tell them apart. I was thinking of making a video on them at one point, but I actually need to buy a 3DS to kind of show off the differences. But it's a really weird... The Nintendo screen lottery stuff is really weird for 3DSs. Alright, this controller is actually starting to look really good, and we're getting really close to kind of finishing this off. And I hope everyone's kind of enjoyed this. Like I say, I don't kind of do these streams to kind of sell my business or to sell any items. I'm just kind of like chatting with people, and if people have got questions and just want to chill, then that's kind of why I do it. Try and get some of this alcohol out from the other side so it just doesn't pool in the booze. And like I say, this console I'll be listing hopefully sometime in the next week if anyone wanted a boxed Nintendo 64 with the limited gold controller that comes with GoldenEye. But yeah, I've not actually played my 3DS in a while, and it's got some really good games. I might have to get it back out. I said earlier in the stream, but what I've been playing at the moment is... I've been playing through Monster Hunter on the Switch, the new Sunbreak DLC. And I also... If there's any retro gamers here that really know the stuff, I've got... I managed to get hold of an analog pocket, which if you love Game Boys and you don't know what they are... wow, have a look at the analog pocket and your mind will be blown. Yeah, the switch to digital, yeah, it's gonna happen. And this is what I'm saying, if you look on like kind of TikTok and on YouTube, you just search gaming market crash or like specifically retro gaming market crash, there is so many people that are like, oh, the gaming market's going to crash, it's doomed. And, you know, I've got a copy of Paper Mario and the Thousand Years Door, it was worth 100 quid, and now it's worth 200 quid, or now it's worth 20 quid. It's not going to happen. It's just people, in my opinion, looking for that clickbait. There will always be people. I had someone the other day buy a Game Boy DMG off me, like original DMG. Now, these things have awful screens. They're absolutely massive. The original DMGs take, is it 6 batteries from the top of my head, if I'm remembering? They're like the worst console you can buy games on. Absolute worst. And for about the same price, sometimes you can get a Game Boy Color. But this dude wanted to play them on original hardware. Like, he wanted to play his Game Boy games on an original DMG Game Boy. And like, that's why the retro gaming market isn't going nowhere. It's still going to be around. And it's still going to be as pricey as stuff is. And like you say, it'll skyrocket. It's like what we saw with what happened with COVID, right? So, like, 2 weird phenomenons happened during COVID in relation to gaming. At least from my experience. So, like, the first one was that everyone started playing Pokemon again, right? Everyone had so much free time, and apparently there was 2 games they wanted to play, which is the 2 of the weird things that happened during COVID. Number 1 was that everyone wanted to play Pokemon. They wanted to play Pokemon Red, Silver, Heart Gold, Black and White 2 even. So, like, the price of them absolutely skyrocketed. The other thing that happened was that, I swear, I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I swear Nintendo planned COVID just so they could sell so many copies of Animal Crossing. Because, I mean, I'm a fan of Animal Crossing, but when you're locked down in your house and no one's social and no one can see their friends or family, that game just happens to come out. And so many people got into Animal Crossing, right? So many people started playing it. And, like, Animal Crossing prices started going up. Even, like, the DS, the 3DS ones. At one point, people were going absolutely crazy for the Animal Crossing Switch version, like the Switch console that's still kind of worth a little bit of money now. That actually looks really nice, but that's not the point. It was selling for, like, astronomical amounts of money. So the retro gaming market isn't going nowhere. If anything, it'll keep getting more expensive, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. The only reason games go down in price, in my opinion, is like what I said earlier. If you take a game that, say, is only on... Let's just say it's only on Game Boy Color. Yeah, so it's never been ported to anything else. It's only on Game Boy Color. What will make that game go down in price, in theory, is like what Nintendo are doing now with their kind of, like, not virtual console, but like the Nintendo Switch, where they're bringing out the Nintendo 64 emulator and stuff like that. So if they were to bring out that Game Boy Color game on Switch, yeah, like, it's going to come down in price because people don't need to pay 100, 200 quid for it anymore, because you can just play it on Switch for, like, what is it, $7.99 a month or whatever the heck it is for Switch Online nowadays. Analog Pocket, yeah, like, I didn't pre-order mine, and I ended up paying an absolute fortune for one off eBay, but my God, it's such a good console. If you really want me to, I'll go grab it, because I don't mind showing it off if people are thinking about getting one, because they are so good and so premium. Right, we're just about to start wrapping this up now, I think. We're looking really good, really clean. Yes, the FPGA stuff. Like, so, actually, do you know what? Give me 1 second, I'm going to go grab it. Okay, so, I don't know how many people have heard of it. Let me just give the screen a wipe down, because I was actually playing it last night. This is the Analog Pocket. The screen looks a bit dirty because I've just wiped it. It's no scratches or anything, it's just a little bit of dirt, because it's well played. let me turn the brightness up. So this is Analog's Pocket version of, like, you know, the Game Boy and everything else under the sun. So you can put your actual cartridges in it and play them properly. And just to show you off, I've currently got Golden Sun in there because that's what I'm playing at the moment. If I take Pokemon Red out of this, and pop it in there, and then play Cartridge, you'll like, what's so cool about like the Analog Pocket is look how stunning this looks. Like, it emulates the look of the old DMG Game Boys, right? Let me turn it down a bit so you can hear me. Now, how cool is that? But what's even better is you can change what actual like look and visual like it would be on an actual Game Boy. So like, you've got your original DMG, you've got your Game Boy Pocket, and then your Game Boy Pocket Lite, and then you've got like the pin neon matrix stuff. But then you've got even like Analog's Pocket's own like filter, like that just looks absolutely fantastic. Now, like you said about the FPGA stuff, is an update just came out to the Pocket the other day, which, like, wow. So now I can play all kind of these consoles on the go, which is absolutely fantastic. So like Game Boy Advance, I've currently got, I don't know if any people are aware of this game. I'm a massive House of the Dead fan. I love light gun games. There's actually a House of the Dead game on Game Boy Advance, but it's pinball. So yeah, so this can actually play it properly, and it just emulates the system like straight away. It's just absolutely fantastic. Such a good console. They're very expensive. I actually have the dock with this one as well, and it's plugged in over there, so I can play stuff with like an 8-bit controller. But yeah, House of the Dead pinball game on GBA, which is amazing. I'm going to come off that now because otherwise I'll be playing. And we're nearly finished this controller. Right, okay, so I think we're all looking good on this controller. I'm just going to start wiping down all the residue. Just so we don't have any pooling, because isopropyl alcohol can get quite sticky if you leave too much of it on it. Yeah, Moss, no worry, man. If you ever want to see content like that, just kind of, like I said, drop me a message on TikTok or YouTube, or like I say, I've got a Discord channel. It's not super active because, like I say, I've actually not posted videos in a while because it's been quite busy and I do this on the side. But if you've ever got any questions, or you want anything fixing, or you want any questions or help, or I don't know, anything like that, just drop me a message. I'm always happy to help people when I can. That's all right, man. Like, phones be dying. That's how it be. I understand, mate. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to check that cable's in correctly, because I think I've put it in slightly wrong. Oops, that's come loose. God, these are so fiddly. Is that in? I think it is. A few slightly come out. There we go. Right. Oops. God, yeah, these are so fiddly. Discord link in my bio. I actually don't think it is. Not very good at this. It's definitely on any of my YouTube videos. I should actually post it on Discord. You're absolutely right. On TikTok. Like I say, it's not massively active, but I'm going to try my best to kind of get it a bit more active. I mess around with a lot of like product on like some of my Game Boys. So if you want to see some of the behind the scenes stuff, or you have a request for a video, or you just want to see something, then, you know, just drop a post. Right, okay. So now I think we're ready to start assembling this very carefully so the shoulder buttons don't fly out. Oh, what's stopping that from going in? Is it just the cable? I think it may just be the cable. Whoops. the problem with some of these older Nintendo controllers, is the cables can be quite funny. There you go. Hopefully this works this time, because I can't see anything else that would stop it from going in. I think that's it. I think we're good. No, there's still something stopping it up the top. It may actually be that bit of cable. There we go, that may be a bit better. I'm trying to think how it went in when I opened it. Do you know when I said earlier, when I was like, just remember how you took things apart and then you'll be absolutely fine. There we go. Let's see if this works or if that's just going to get caught. See if I can push that in a bit. No, that's still not going in properly. Okay, let's take you apart properly and have a proper look. See, this is the kind of things you miss, like when I fully edit a YouTube video. The bits where I go wrong. Or that. Let's push that around there. Let's put that there. There we go. That is looking a lot better. Screwing the two smaller screws down that just are going to be a pain, but fit in the top there. Can't really show it too well on a camera, so you'll have to bear with me. Once I've kind of got this all screwed back together and kind of showed off everything that we've covered in the stream. So if anyone's got any kind of questions they want to ask now, feel free to kind of chip up. Like I say, I do try to respond back to all proper comments on YouTube, or find me and I can find them and we can have a bit of banter. Like I said, if people are interested, my next video is coming up for YouTube. I'm doing Game Boy number 10 of the Game Boy Grand Prix, which is a Game Boy Pocket I'm modding to. It's going to have a theme, and spoilers, it's a Pikachu theme. So I've got a nice yellow case and some red buttons for its cheeks and all that kind of lovely stuff. And then at some point I'm going to show off that anniversary PS4 and then hide it under my bed for it to never be seen by human eyes for a very long time. I'm hoping that the value of that goes up. I actually bought it on eBay for a decent price, and I don't know what the price is now actually, but it can, something like that can only go up in price because of how rare it is. But yeah, we're nearly finished with this. Just a few more screws and then a last wipe down of everything. And then if people are interested, I can show it all together and show off the box as well, because luckily this console came with a box, which is in a semi-decent condition. So if anyone's interested, give us a shout. I would like to actually stay on the stream and speak to everyone a bit more, but I've been on a few hours now, and I am desperate for a drink. And I've not actually ate anything for a while, and it's nearly 7 o'clock over here in the UK. So there we go, that's that second to last one. And then this should be the last one. There we go. And then one last wipe down. There we go, that's feeling a little bit better if nothing else. I can see actually there's still a bit of dirt on the analog. It's a good idea if anyone's cleaning a controller that so much dirt actually hangs underneath the analog. I don't know if you can see it. It's the same with PlayStation, same with anything that's got an analog. A lot of the dirt is underneath the stick. That should be a bit better. There we go. Just a bit of dirt left over there. Like I say, all this stuff will get tested before it gets listed. So I'll make sure it works properly and give it any repairs that needs a repair. Right, how are we looking? How do the buttons feel? Feeling good, feeling quite new. All of them are clicking. That feels quite decent. There we go. So to kind of wrap this up, so I've cleaned this Nintendo 64 Limited Gold Edition console. I will show you all the bits that we've kind of cleaned in this video now. So the controller is kind of the thing that makes it limited edition, weirdly enough. That nice kind of gold. You can get Nintendo 64 consoles that are fully gold like this, but I think that was only kind of in Japan way, rather than the UK. But that feels quite good. It feels like it'll actually work, and it feels nice in the hands. It needs another bit of a wipe down, but I'll do that off screen. It's got its memory card thing. Whoops, wrong way around. That goes in there. And we've got the console itself, which has been cleaned as well. And this is looking really, really good. I'm going to stick it back in its plastic because the box came with all of its plastic and everything, which is fantastic to see that it's this complete. Put that off to one side. It also, obviously, because it's the gold edition, came with a copy of GoldenEye 007, which I opened up and gave the contacts a bit of a clean and got rid of any kind of dust on there that may stop it from working. Just give that a little blow. And it came with all the marketing and all the cables and stuff as well. So if people are interested before I sign off for the night, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I try to do them whenever I can, so I hope you can join me whenever I'm on, for a bit of casual chat and just some interesting gaming talk or just crappy talk in general. But if people are interested, I can't really show it too well because of the aspect ratio of TikTok and how I film, but that's kind of like the box of it. But thank you very much everyone that's kind of had a chat with me. You make it fun for me while I'm doing it and keep me company, and hope I keep you company and you've all had a good laugh, or at least been interested or just enjoyed sitting in the background. Either way, I hope everyone's happy. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you have a good weekend. Hope you have a good night or day or morning or whatever time it is where you guys are. If you ever want to chat, feel free to give me a message on TikTok or YouTube. If you want to see any of the stuff I sell or you've got any questions, I've run an eBay store in the UK. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. See you later.